Be here at Success Connect London, and thrilled that SuccessFactors has recently made a donation on behalf of HSBC to the National Autistic Society. And here representing NAS is Kath, and I'd love for you to introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your organization.
So my name's Kath Leggett. I'm an Employment Pathways Coordinator. I've been with the National Autistic Society for about 5 years now. We're the leading charity for autistic people in the UK. I've worked on a number of employment programmes. Most excitingly recently, we are going to launch in September our digital and cyber programme from our Anderson School. And this is a brand new purpose-built site based in Chigwell in Essex. We're working very closely with DXE and we're basing our model to improve recruitment, retention and progression of autistic people in digital and cyber based on their model, which was the Dandelion programme in Australia, which has been really, really successful. And they've really managed to upscale and get large numbers of autistic people into work. The reason why we know it's so important to do this is because, first of all, of the skills gap really in digital and cyber. The UK are currently refreshing their national cyber strategy and really starting now to look at where that talent might come from. We know that by 2020 over half of businesses and organisations in the UK won't have the basic or the essential skills really to tackle cyber threats, and also in digital. So we see that those skills, and we know from the autistic people that we work with and from what we understand about autism, that the skills that are required for both digital and cyber and tech fit really, really well with key features of the condition.
Right. Absolutely. You talked about the shortage of talent, and specifically in the industry that we're in, we are seeing a shortage of skilled talent. And so I feel like companies have to really redefine what is talent, right? Re-looking at their talent strategy. And it's something that SAP has done since 2013, where they've made a commitment to employ people on this autism spectrum, and that will represent 1% of the workforce. And I'm thrilled that SAP SuccessFactors was an early adopter of that program, and we've continued to employ very talented and skilled workers that are on the autism spectrum over the last 5 years. So we'll continue to do that, but I would love to get your perspective on what do you think that companies will need to prepare for as they seek to employ people through the autism programs or that are on the spectrum. How do they prepare for that and looking at this new talent opportunity?
So I think the main thing we encourage employers to do is to be flexible and to offer alternatives at every point, really, throughout the whole process of thinking about initially creating a role, hiring, selection, testing, that whole process. We know that sort of traditional psychometric testing doesn't work very well for most autistic people. We have a test case on our website where a solicitor was awarded that an organisation was discriminated against her because she asked for an alternative. And I think as long as employers think about the alternatives, there are lots of best practice standard approaches. So we would always encourage to offer job trials rather than the traditional sort of face-to-face interviews. We know that lots of autistic people don't present as expected in a non-verbal way, perhaps with their body language, with their eye contact. And we know that that's a large part of the huge autism employment gap. So it's only 16% of people in the UK. That's quite a recent figure that only went up by 1% from 15 in quite a number of years that are actually in full-time employment. And these skills and this talent is really well suited to digital and cyber and tech. So yeah, thinking about different ways to test, different ways to interview, to recruit and select. Job trials are great. We have lots of free resources on our website, and this is what we're doing now on our digital and cyber programs from the Anderson School, is really working with employers to give them that best practice approach. And then say everyone who's autistic is different. Some adjustments that will work for one person might not work for another. And also working with the employer to see what works well with their team, almost audit where they are and upskill them really and the team so that they can best support the person who's coming on board into the role.
That's fantastic. I know from my own perspective in meeting with individuals that are employed through SAP SuccessFactors, having that match with their skill set to the right role is incredibly important. But we have some fantastic people. They're incredibly talented. And a key part of our talent strategy as we continue to grow and go through our own HR transformation in SuccessFactors. So is there anything in closing that you would like to add that employers that are looking for this opportunity to tap into this talent network that you would recommend?
So there's lots and lots of employers who are already doing fantastic work, like yourself. We're going to be hosting in June 2020 an autism summit to bring all that best practice together. We're in dialogue with JP Morgan at the moment, HSBC we've been working with. So we're really, really excited to do that and really create a solid network of employers who are really changing the culture.
Right.
And what we know is that what works really well for autistic people works really well for all the other neurodiverse people. So encouraging that flexibility, offering different ways of doing things, works well for dyslexia, dyscalculia, dyspraxia, ADD, ADHD, but also everybody in the workplace. So, it's really sort of best practice and getting the best diverse talent on board and keeping them.
Fantastic. Well, I feel we have a common goal. We're on a journey to improve the lives of people on the autism spectrum. But again, as an employer, this is an incredible talent opportunity to bring in people with a unique skill set and continue to employ them through unique opportunities. So thank you for the opportunity to talk today.
Thank you very much.